with more Callius. Well. Alright, so we are back with more Catless Blind Fate. We are on, I believe this is part 3. But we're basically continuing where we left off at from the last video. So, yeah. I had to like go back and like search to make sure I didn't skip over any lines. So, let's see. Bro could barely clean up a fight, try not to drown or have his neck bitten cleaned off by Ray. Will you get off of me? Your dog used to take command from you when you're in too much pain to speak. You also twice keep him off Orga's body, but to stay on guard. Ray still snarls at Orga bolts as Orga bolts are bright, coughing up mouthfuls of filthy water. Stay down, Orga. Your pain and injury is compounded with each step as you limp over to the war chief. Orga was spluttering still, but for good measure, make a long, low whistle. Ray growled aggressively in his face. The master's powerful jaws are a hair's breadth away from the orc's nose. He won't kill you if you don't attack us, you cautioned, before collapsing in the water. With your last ounce of strength, you roll over and prop your body on top of your backpack. A prayer is muttered in thanks to Flush for granting you so much, before you reach into bringing herbs or bandages. You wouldn't be alive if it weren't for his blessing. It may have been a self-imposed suicide mission to enter the ruins, but you aren't ready to die just yet. Okay, so let's see. Tears come to your eyes as the last of Flush blessing leaves you. Your long and thin limbs ache from exertion. Additional muscle that your God granted you fades. It's strenuous just to take out a few pouches from your backpack, most of which are drenched in water. Ruined. Animal skin and waterproofing wasn't nearly enough to protect your gear from the elements. Only a single tincture remains unspoiled. Without a second's hesitation, you swallow the entire contents of the little wooden bowl. It's terribly bitter. You have yet to confirm how bad your bruising is, but you know that this will help your pain and ease any eternal bleeding. Which is good. It's always good. The War Chief's injuries is substantial too, yet he shows no sign of pain. Glance over at him every few minutes, confirming that your leg is deeply bruised along the entire shin, occupies your attention too much to pay him any mind. The location is soft, tender to the touch. It smarts if you do so much as tense the surrounding muscle. Ray's growling slows, while you fasten a few extinguished torches into a makeshift splint. The solid wood gets tied over your filthy pant leg, as you're too hurt and tired to fashion anything better. You have to fix it later. You have to wonder how many other humans have encountered this work for him to have immediately mistaken you for a demon. Or if, right? Listening, gritting your teeth from the effort of speaking stops you from making a scene. Every word feels like it's redoubles the pain. So, you're intelligent enough to recognize the name of the greatest warrior to have ever lived. Ray growls with such ferocity that when Orga speaks, the orc immediately pipes down. I'm trying to get his voice down, but I don't know. I don't think I have to go that deep. We're wincing. Gods, your side is killing you. If you swear to not hurt me or my dog, I'll order him to leave you be. I'm not a demon. You're struggling to speak, but it's worth the effort. You can't have this maniac doing something to Ray while you rest. Besides, it'll be impossible to evoke again when you're this spent. True. Orga stares you down. Every disfiguring scar, burn wound, and pockmark. The deep bags under your impossibly wide and bright green eyes. Breaks that never healed across the bridge of your nose. There might as well be another knife cutting you. You instinctively look away, though turning your scarred and gaunt face aside likely does nothing for the slick gore through the mop of your dark hair, or the way that your robes hang off of your skeletal frame. It hurts to do so, but you draw your arms around yourself. Please stop looking at me. The orc laughs. Ray barks hard in War Chief's face, but he shouts over the noise. Ah, human after all, I see. Your dog seems to have even more confidence than you do. You can't possibly be a demon. Aha. His words cut deeper than the look did. You keep your eyes away from the orc, struggling to not let your emotions overwhelm you. This is extremely dangerous. You need to get a hold of yourself. You aren't a child anymore. He's right. You cringe. I'm not perfect. Ray barks right in Orga's face with a helpful show of aggression as you get back to your feet. He won't attack unless you give the word. It's impossible to avoid clutching at your injury and gasping, but you smile slightly and say, he's been my companion and supported me when no one else could. He's probably saved more lives than you've taken, Orgith. Your eyes remain downcast. In the 5 years that you have spent as a father of the Church of Mercy, Ray has served with you for almost all of them. You owe him more than your life. Ray barks, so you don't quite catch the full extent of the orc's reaction. You are deeply uncomfortable looking at others or talking at length, save for conversations about the gods. It is doubtful that this orc even knows of mercy. Orgith is not replying. Just move. Do something. You grab your backpack and walk hesitantly toward the side of the waterway. A dry ledge is a fine place to slump down against. Looking through your possessions, you set out the waterlogged items and wring out what you can. Fortunately, your journal has stayed mostly dry thanks to its tight bindings. Far past the orc, down one of the many tunnels within the waterway, you can see a lurching figure of the centipede demon. She is barely able to move, yet she manages to crawl away, while a black stream of blood, possibly poison, pools around her. It's a good thing that the waterway flows away from you. It's fascinating that an orc was even able to tame such a creature. Your curiosity wins out over creeping insecurity. You did come here for a reason. Ray, hang back, you say. Your dog backs just his face away from Orgith, remains standing just beside him, stretching up his face in the process. He almost managed to smile. Orgith looks at you in surprise. In a low voice, you ask him, how did you manage to tame the demon? It was a simple matter. Ray jumps in alarm at the increase in volume, but dutifully stays put. I found her in this strange place, starving half to death. Can't possibly eat all the creatures I've killed down here, so I brought the girl a few gifts. The orc gives you a wink. She warmed up to me faster than a halfling to a hot meal. She knew I could pull my weight. We made a little agreement. She would help me till the voice loses its manic energy, and I'd not kill her. I look over his shoulder, and the orc's substantial frame sinks slightly. It's a great dishonor, you know. You disgraced my ancestral weapon, wounded my finest ally, and gravely injured me. He smiled at you with a weird sincerity. It's incredibly unnerving to see a mass of battle scars, blood, and muscle acting this way. Are all orcs like this? You've been told all your life that they're bloodthirsty killers, ethically mindless animals. It doesn't help matter that the war at SYNOPSIS has raged for longer than any human has ever lived for, perhaps save for your king, and all that you have to go off is hearsay. Orc continues with that odd smile on his face. Didn't come down here to die, yet you struck me with mortal blows. You see why I mistook you for a demon? No? Alright, you cringe again and look down at your journal. Despite your injury, your notes are crisp and your handwriting is steady, likely from a lifetime of restraining your body and emotions. We have social context. Malamos and Orgith. Malamos is the master of webs. Careless is unknown. Resides in the highest level of the ruins. Could not take vengeance upon. Easily amused in exchange. Safe passage for a tale. Orgith, we have war chief of the sacred band of SYNOPSIS. Encountered in the waterway, capable of taming demons. Doesn't make a difference when what Orc is saying makes so little sense. Did he only have to treat the demon with respect? You tried to kill me. Your voice remains even, but your eyes are lit with anger. I tried to defend myself. When was the last time you saw yourself, or even ate anything? I've seen elves with more meat on them than you. Do you have any idea what else is down here? Couldn't take any chances. Ray grabs the orc's His voice increases in pitch and volume. Orga closes his mouth but remains agitated. Pressure builds in your head from the strain of talking to the war chief, which is rapidly proving to be more challenging than him trying to kill you. This has been a terrible misunderstanding. It might look like death warmed over, or a demon that could try to be human, too. You start for a natural conversation, let your rations air out to dry. Let's examine them further. The dry strips of lentils and grains are a little soft around the edges, but definitely still edible. Grab 2 of them, a handful of medicinal herbs that you salvaged, an armful of makeshift bandages, and walk over to Orgith. You really need this. You truly wanted to make the best of the situation. You can't let up on your scowl. Hard look from Orgith is the only thing that meets you in return, so you give an entire ration to Ray. Your dog wolfs it down without even chewing. Good boy. Stay. You pat Ray on the head, trying your best to not even kneel down, not to agitate your injury further. It's no wonder you're a shallow man, giving your pet the biggest share. Or it gives you another broader smile, seemingly unaware how bothered you are by his teasing. With extreme reluctance, you break the remaining ration in half and take a bite. Because of the rock and made purely of efficiency, not for taste. You stare down Orgith with the driest look imaginable as you slowly chew. He gives you a big grin in return. Listen, wind has been taken completely out of your sails. I need to rest, and I need to recover too. I'm no demon. I'm a man of the gods. Scrutinize Orgith's face as you say this, looking for any sort of disbelief or reaction, anything at all. He stares at you blankly. I've been trained in healing. Your explanation is uproariously cut short. Medicine man. Orgith leans over and almost grabs you by the shoulder. Ray instantly leaps onto him, growling and barking hysterically. You put a hand onto your temples, pressure mounts from the damn headaches. Your quiet command is made while closing your eyes. The argument have starved off the worst of an incoming pain. Down, Ray. It's actually quiet for a moment. Okay. When you open your eyes, Orgith is staring at you again. Finally lose your patience. Stop doing that. What? Did your battle leave a mark on you deeper than I could see? The mind of Orgith. Stop, you mother, and draw in on yourself as the pain builds. Be quiet. Orgith seemed to have actually listened. Several minutes you listen only to the sound of rushing water and Ray is panting. Maybe he does know of mercy. The centipede demon also seems to have stopped moving far down the waterway. Either she's bled out or she is hiding, licking her wounds. Okay. You reluctantly open your eyes to see the Orgith is intently examining the wall across from you. His eyes dart back towards you for every few seconds as if you can't see him staring. You sigh and extend another half of the ration. Here. Careful to not put any weight on your bad leg while you lean forward. The bite on your shoulder is gonna pass beyond my care if you let it get any fouler. If you want my help. Literally extends a hand to take the ration. You draw your arm back slightly. I need your word. Your bond. Swear to me. Swear on everything you hold dear. Swear to me that you won't bring any harm to me or Ray. Orc's pointed ears perk up. Will breaker. He winces at this explanation. It quickly brings down the volume of his voice. Will breaker, my axe. I swear to you on it, but I'll call Ray off first. And your name. I don't even know who I'm swearing to. You keep your eyes downcast, only flitting them over to Ray occasionally. Father Richard Anscham. Hopefully I got that right. And you know Ray. Father. Huh. Haven't called anyone that in at least 40 years. It's a title in the head of my order. It's like a holy. You recoil into yourself at your limited knowledge of orcs and their culture. Tribe? Band? You assert. It's a great honor. Orgith grimaces, nodding sagely. Very well, Father Richard Anscham. I'll swear it to you on my first wife. The world soul storm bore me 16 healthy sons, each one stronger than the last. You listened to with as much patience as you could muster, while trying to conceal your mounting agony. Orga swears to you on each one of his first 16 sons, each one of their many tribes, and each one of their sons, and that he will not harm your array or you're about ready to collapse by the time that he finishes. Father, are you alright? No. You slide forward face first, Orc's wounded as he is, pitches you as you nearly fall into the filthy wire coursing around your feet. Alright, come on, medicine man. If you weren't struggling to not cry out in pain, you would think that there was a concern in Orga's voice. The word goes dark as you feel yourself being lifted back towards the rest of your gear. Strange thought occurs to you where you fade from consciousness. You can't remember the last time you actually touched someone. Dream visits you deep in the darkness. You see you before you will feel the grain and the beautiful woman standing beneath a red moon. Okay. You try to call out to her, but black bile and blood begins to pour from your lips. Hand crawls all over your body, up your throat and inside of your mouth. A barrel of liquor tumbles down an endless staircase, colliding with a mountain of dead bodies. An owl flies overhead. Curtains draw shut before its wings, clipping them mid-flight. A small spirit is born and dies. One turns away from you. You're falling into a deep sea. You can't speak. You can't breathe. The world is shaking. The moon turns black. Father Anscham? Her voice calls out to you. Everything is still shaking. Or if you go into pain, or if it's shaking you. You look at him groggily, where he seems to be sleeping behind him, splayed down on some rocks above the water level. After your dog is so at ease, instantly quells the worst of your anxiety, so you wipe something warm and damp off the side of your face. Blood parts onto your hand, interlaced with the streak of crimson and a touch of navy blue paint. Father? Why did I say it like that? You were out for 2 days. Are you? Or looks at you in alarm as he sees what's on the palm of your hand. Knits his eyebrows together. Is this normal? He replies, hurry. Thank you for waking me. Before Orga can ask anything further, you hurry over to your gear, paying no heed to the pain it causes, and tear into your journal. Dreams visits is transcribed to the letter, muttering fevered prayers to the God himself. You don't stop until you've gotten every last detail down. Seems nautical now, but you've never been one to take the gods lightly. Only when you finish do you look with wide eyes over at Orga's. Alright, we have some business to take care of. Let's get that wound looked at and clean those weapons. What's wrong with you? Looking at you with extreme concern. You flinch as if Orga hit you. Infra blue of your irises loses their verve and transitions back to a normal shade of green. The fade to humanity is accompanied by a glance down at the floor. To the side, anyone for answers. What's wrong with me? Down the corridor, shaped over the etching of the walls, are smears of black blood, and were not present before you passed out. You just head towards them. Did you? Who's that from? Fire responsible nods his head, arms crossed, laughing with pride. Been sorrow not to guard you. Swore is teeming with strange creatures, but they are no match for Orgulf, the greatest warrior to have ever graced this miserable ruin. You winced while letting him gloat. It's likely that you would have died if he didn't guard you while you slept. Ray is a good boy, but he's still only a dog. No doubt would have been able to stave off any more demons. Not right after that fight, at any rate. Thank you, you mumble. Don't mention it. Ah. I appreciate you're keeping your word too. You murmur, almost imperceptible. I owe you, honestly. You smear the edge of your robe over your face, wiping off the last of the blood that you produced while you were sleeping. Your arm raises only as you continue looking at your sleeve. The blood is thick, fresh, and definitely your own. Have you encountered many humans before? Aggressiveness inches into Orga's voice. Of course I have. I've fought many men. You humans have an incredible spirit. Many of my kind have been lost to your forces in Barfin and on the borders of my very home. Truly a formidable foe. Huh. Bloodthirsty reminiscing occupied Orga's progressively angrier laugh. You let him work it out of his system. Orga eventually calms down enough to continue. His red-rimmed eyes burn into you. Normally you only bleed when struck, and never have seen you smoking in the way you did. I've seen a few of you holy men, never anything like this. Orc's aged, rough voice takes on a tone of apprehension. The way that you fought was not human, Father. It was, and it wasn't. You can't restrain the more smile that takes hold. Falling flesh's brutal strength and confidence you hold onto yourself for a moment. Longing for the same feelings, you attempt to make eye contact in earnest. Fine lines around Orga's eyes, the wrinkles of his battle-worn features, and even his obvious paternal concern can't make you falter. When your mind is with your patrons, your voice is as warm as if you were speaking of a lover. It was the gods, Orgif. The god of flesh answered my prayer. He is generous. He granted me enough strength to contend with you and with the demon that you tamed. The stare you've given is full concern and confusion. Didn't look it. I wasn't expecting you for a non-combatant until you withstood my axe with a single hand. Your smile fades. A great deal of pain takes hold in your voice. The gods can't change what I am, who I am. Not truly. I'm only a vessel, a shell. But the gods can work through me. Serving thought occurs to you. Do you not know of them? No. The people of Sinnoh worship the art of war. They call a battle. Our gods are our fellow orcs, our greatest champions. More importantly, I don't care to know of these gods if they're responsible for that. It's like the blood on your sleeve. And more importantly, you're avoiding my question, Father. What's wrong with you? You drop your arm to your side and recoil slightly into yourself. You're not used to anyone being this direct, and he's really not letting up. Am I just this unused conversation? You can't resist educating him, and it's a good way to elaborate on how your illness is exasperated by their blessings. It might be good to be transparent, honestly. In this case, I feel as though if he wanted to do something to him, he would have taken you out in those 2 days, honestly. If only nerves to turning your eyes toward the ceiling could grant you a view of divinity, rather than that of the inner sin by your side. Always been sick, and have been. Get terrible headaches. Get terrible headaches. You close your eyes and sigh. Some people are better shells than others. The orc doesn't mind. See the mind waiting a minute. You hold your holy symbol tightly against your beating heart. Its gold gleams in the light filtering through the waterway. Blood and biles not only smudge across all your clothing and skin, but has sullied the pair of outstretched hands you hold as well. Appalled, you start wiping off the item with the hem of your cleanest sleeve. The gods are just forgive, but their miracles are difficult for humans to endure. We are not built like orcs. We are weaker. Your holy symbol is clean, like a potion keeps buffeting it as you barely continue. The people of my village were weaker still. My parents bore me, only me, not 16 healthy sons. Once the gold, outstretched hands are buffed enough to see your face, you release it from your grasp. The only weight against your heart is almost as reassuring as crossing your arms over your chest. It's uncommon for humans to use the blessing of the gods, even if they're in good health. For a healthy man, brave a woman, invoking their might is unusual, even in times of great need. Even minor movement stings, thanks to injury, is barely starting to heal, so you hold onto yourself even tighter. We humans, we try to endure. Some humans are so weak that they're still trying, despite. Fear is written plainly across your face. Wicked humans are often subject for retribution, Orgeth. The stare directed at you intensifies. He seems to get it, but you continue, while staring him straight down. I'm weak, Orgeth. The gods see fit to keep me alive. There's something wrong with my head. My heroes cannot fix me. This is the gods' will. Do you understand? The floodgates of fear open wide. They have seen fit to use my weakness as their blessing. Even if I can't do much on my own, the gods have always listened. They see fit to bless me. Time after time after time again. And even though it may wear on me, even though my shell has cracks, I still hold. I don't lose myself. I don't die. Oreo takes a step back. So do you see? Blue in your palm is yet to dry. This vision tilts into something much darker, and your skin congealing crimson towards your distressed companion. I do believe in struck. I believe from a power greater than anything mortal eyes can see. Understand. First hulking battle-scarred frame moves to leave. Your blood is smeared on most of your tattered clothing. He has no armor or gear. He's surviving the ruins with nothing but his axe and bare hands. And it's only as Orgrev has moved to leave that you hazard a decent look at him. His back is already turned to you, and the fear wormed its way through his voice. While he looks off to the furthest reaches of the waterway, I have things to do, and someone to go home to. Better part here. You take care of yourself, Father Richard Anscham. Since we're from leaving, tell him you will make a strong alliance. Beg him to stay if you have to. Please don't let another person leave him and eat alone. Respect Or's wishes, let him go. You don't have the heart to argue with him, and you're worried what he might do if you push him. No matter how scared he is of me, I can still be a decent man. I don't need to prove anything to him. I know that I'm not a monster. I feel like if we let him go, it's bad for us. But at the same time, it could make him upset, I guess, if we push him, but I don't know. Wait, I can't imagine anything that could stand against the both of us, especially down here. Barker laughed, leaves Orgrev. Hardly. You were your pillar of force to be reckoned with. His voice drops in pitch and volume. No matter how rare a challenge you pose to me, it would be a shame to make our departure another battle. No, you cringe, trying to stand as you make yourself heard. I don't think you understand. Only a few steps or across the distance between you two, puts a hand on your shoulder, effortlessly, pushing you back to the ground. Threatening his voice. Stay down. Keep your eyes to the floor, miserably trying to think of something to say. Don't apologize either. Orgrev takes a step backwards, keeping his eyes only on you. Do you start the company so sorely that you want it after mine? Surely no fault of your own. But you're a healer. You should know better. No lump of meat like me is no remedy. You didn't come down here for a lecture. Billy, your mother. You're going then? I am. York has yet to take his eyes off from you. Then throw the fear runs through his voice. I won't hurt you, you say. Neither will Ray. Just go. Sound like he's hurt, regardless. Take care of yourself, Father Richard Anscham. Orgrev walked to the direction you came from, say where the demon retreated. It's only a matter of minutes for him to disappear completely from sight. Only a few minutes for the sound of his sloshing steps to fade away. Alright. Let's assess now. Ray sleeps peacefully. You remind yourself that the dream doesn't visit animals. As you slump down beside your dog and scratch behind his ears, he instinctively leans into your touch. Soft contact is comforting, but does nothing for the dull ache in your chest from yet another person leaving you. What a terrible misunderstanding. There's no sign left of Orgif, or demon within minutes. Save for the uncanny trail of darkened viscera that settle in the water. Those lived there were never there. At least the church made sure that I'm never truly alone. I guess we couldn't make him stay. Oh, we got the lair master was, almost at the... okay. Please look for a map of the waterway. Level cartography tools, sketches are made of the ruins around you. The illustrations include some of the larger carvings on the walls, the note of your descent, and the location of where you last saw the centipede. Hope y'all got that. After a few more minutes of ruminating over the battle or Orgif's departure, you painfully eat a ration and drink some water. Stretching your supplies is prudent. You could attempt to filter some of the water here, but how many demons have likely died in these streams? You don't trust it. While you're eating, Ray stirs from his slumber. One big yawn leaves him. Before he sits beside you and stares at your ration with puppy dog eyes. I'm gonna smell the food as bland as it is. Here's more. It's the best I can do. Happy to see you too. Did you want this? Your hero says dutifully as you raise a ration. Working the motion of training him with a few exercises. Whistling, fetching, propping you on your side if you pass out. Clearly the part to cure you. Once you're done, you toss away the remainder of the ration. To inhale without chewing. Wish I knew if Orgif fed you. You order stiffly, getting to your feet. Waterway is a labyrinth. Though it's adorned with countless inscriptions and carvings of demons, the direction ahead is difficult to discern. Before you are two main passageways. One resolves towards where you first entered. The other one will lead you off to where you last saw the centipede demon. Other branches of tunnels lie further beyond. Overhead, pale yellow light obscures the higher levels of the ruins. Be troublesome to climb up the vertical, slick, craggy shaft here, and Malus alluded to until secrets that could lie in the ruins above. Alright boy, where to now? Your monotone delivery is a poor indication that you're joking. Still, you stop for a moment and scrutinize the walls of the ruin. There is no indication that this cracked, greased, and decaying place was meant to be inhabited, and that to linger is to die. Make sure you have your journal as you start to walk. Keep your eyes to the walls of the ruins and take thorough notes on any inscriptions that bear recording. To see the ruins and monsters depicted make it difficult to pick out anything of note when you make any sense of the text at all. Though you realize that through imagery, the entire hierarchy of demons is depicted. Rather than representing the power of an individual monster, you have observed that demons are categorized by their influence over one another. From imps to minor demons, up there and lesser, greater, major, and even archdemons. How much influence one monster bears is the truest measure of its strength. It's difficult to compare the incredible abilities that demons often possess otherwise. A gigantic mural alongside of the waterway has your awe struck. Thanks to one such creature, it must have once been a man. It possesses no fewer than 10 torsos. Perched atop a freakishly long horse-like body, each horse's unique head has a forked tongue and horns, and the frontmost one bears flames. Or breathes flames. Your hand shakes slightly while you try to duplicate the image as best as you can. Your finger lingers with charcoal over parchment for only a moment after you're done. 2 words are hesitantly written under the drawing. Greater Demon. You two walking down the passageway while inscribing various runes. You fill about 5 pages before you bring the recordings to a halt. There is little use attempting to duplicate the thousands of letters. Know that there is a substantial supply of the multiple languages represented here. You close the journal and stash it in your pack. It surely will satisfy an ability in Church of Mercy. Church of Mercy. Your first time was meant to be a trial by fire. If Father elementally wished to protect you, your fellow priests were appalled by the thought of you serving the church. They surely hoped you would be killed during the service. Yet despite all odds, you survived and have gone on to survive so much more. Traveling through the countryside, preaching compassion and mercy to disheartened peoples of Coursera, acting as a living example of how faith can be rewarded, striking down demons from the wilderness, saving little towns, and since outbreak, when the monster manifests in the heart of the city, and your subsequent invocation that saved many lives. Years of prayer and abuse have left your body weak and weary, but there is no denying that your resolve is absolute. It's with grimace that your gaze settles on the grotesque demon above. I know I'm not a monster. Let's keep moving, Ray. I don't want to go down the waterway where the centipede demon was, because I don't think that demon is done. Ray barks, then obediently hops to your side. Your eyes trail along the yellowed, waterlogged walls, down the passage where Orgriff was last seen. You swallow hard. I just need to gather more information. Orgriff caught your mace during the fight with his bare hands. The blood still dried onto the sharpened flanks. You take your weapon out and lay them under your dog's nose. He gives the gore his full attention, ready to trail whoever you command. Follow. The order Ray barks repeatedly, immediately moving down the corridor. Quiet. Slow. Whining, Ray points his nose down the waterway, brings his motion to a crawl. You stay around his heels, muttering, "Mercy, forgive me." You are acutely aware of how much noise you're making as your shoes slosh through the filthy waterway. Foam and flexed guts come up to your ankles. It's possible to clearly muffle the sound, no matter how carefully you step. Ray doesn't help matters as he ruthlessly trails Orgriff's scent. You have to frequently remind your dog to slow his pace. Time crawls on. It could be 1 hour, it could be 5. Injury is aching, but you keep moving forward. The waterway is like a maze with countless branching paths. It'd be unbelievably easy to become lost down here. Monotony of your straight and singular path is truly a blessing. Something is up ahead, you whisper. Stop. If you had been moving faster, you would have been easy to miss. Barbed trip wire has been strung across the path at the level of your ankles and at the height of your neck. Material is so thin, well, not thin, it's nearly invisible even when you're staring right at it. What's wrong with you? Oh, it's bright. Running into barbed wire would have felt less than the memory. Richard Mercy took you in at such a young age. Father Emmett did everything he could for you, but it wasn't enough. He hated your life before your service. A step backward, you make several further commands to Ray to stop his tracking and to keep him from hurting himself. You were alone. You ran away. You watched and waited. For a time, a place, you waited to talk to someone, to get help. One time was enough. A dull throb overtakes your chest and head. It's hard to breathe. Get away from me. Don't touch her. You don't understand. Please? While Emmett found you, she couldn't hide how badly you were beaten. To this day, you're certain that Mercy is the only reason you didn't die. What were you thinking? What's wrong with you? So bright. Ooh. You grit your teeth. Okay, you can either take down the wire to make sure Ray doesn't hurt himself and then not turn back, or you could turn around, you're helpless, you have Ray and the gods on your side. Either wire up and respect for his wishes. You can find a way through the place without following someone who does not want you around. Someone who is clearly frightened of you. So it's not for regret you stare at the wire. Wait, I was supposed to... That's the one I wanted. Wrapping your hands around your sleeves is sufficient to deal with the razor sharp wire. You wind up using your mace to move the strands aside, not envying anyone who might trip on the pieces you discard into the current. Quiet, you whisper, push the finger before your lips. That's the one when I said, yep, I picked the wrong one for some reason. He gets as low to the floor as he can without putting his head on the water and stalks with you down the passageway. After a matter of seconds, it feels like something gives beneath your feet. You trapped the corridor? Rage fur bristles, tries you might to obey your command, he begins to growl. What is it, boy? A few pebbles trickle from a nearby ledge. Ceiling walls echo with your slowing footsteps. You know what's coming. We look around desperately anyways, trying to find a way out from the inevitable. Someone has been trapped. You see enough tunnels collapse to know what's coming. With a shout, you dive as far from the source of the incoming avalanche as you can. Ray, move. The light rapidly fades from the ceiling overhead as it crumbles it onto itself, filling a rock and silt. You were slide through the repulsive waterway as you dive. You look on the tears inside of you, landing just far away enough from the ceiling to collapse and not be buried. For a shake as the waterway at your back continues to fall to pieces. The entire tunnel is coming down. He closing your road with his teeth, whining as you struggle to get up. Damn moon, slowing you down, but you manage to get to your feet. Though it's a terrible idea to do so, you break into a sprint. No use looking anywhere if you're straight ahead. Now trip on any debris underfoot. The tunnel brutally shakes, and the broad strides take you deeper into the waterway than you've ever been. Now, familiar golden light is clearly extinguished. Filming ceases, and you slow to a stop and call out from the pitch black corridor between ragged breaths. Ray? You let loose a heavy sigh with a relief and words on the side. Good boy. Quickly get a hold of yourself and blindly feel around for a torch. Mercy. Bad enough that you're drenched head to toe, but your backpack at the bottom of your robe seems to have gotten the worst of it. In difficulty, you managed to extract the torch in the dark. It's a good thing the wood was treated. It's crazy. The command read stay back while you strike the flame and your eyes widen the moment the light catches. In a dim glow with rocks completely covering the escape route at your back, you see something alarming. Very alarming. The water is rising. The way ahead is poorly lit, but the tunnel just ahead opens up, leading deeper into the collapsed waterway. You may be exhausted, but warmth and comfort emanates from your holy symbol. You hold Mercy's hand in your own. And quietly call out words of reassurance to Ray. You walk the most difficult paths, yet your steps are lighter than many. Maybe the future will be brighter. The ending Merciful route, Spirit Order. Okay. Okay. Well, that is the oh. Okay. All right. That was the Merciful route for Spirit Order, which thank God they didn't bite us in the ass. So that was good. Check the gallery out real quick. Once again, we got more in there now. We need. See, it's 3 more. We got Orbit right there. Let's see, I'll use these for the future stuff for the game, for thumbnails. But yeah, Catalyst Blind Faith. That was part 3, I guess, of the Merciful route. So if you want the Spirit Order, that's what you're gonna get. Honestly, I might try and see what happened if we went down the other route where the centipede was at, but yeah, we'll see regardless whether we spare him or not. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Of course, if you did, do not hesitate to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you're enjoying this game, because I'm loving it. But yeah, so I'll leave it here. If you want to play the game for yourself and try the other routes, of course, the link to this game is in the description below, along with everything else. So yeah, hopefully you had a good day, a good yesterday, and better tomorrow, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.